Number 1. It was a beautiful day. A grasshopper was jumping around and singing. He was enjoying the beautiful weather. He didn't even think about working. An ant passed by carrying a piece of food. The ant was working very hard. "Why are you working so hard?" the grasshopper asked the ant. "Why don't you stop and talk to me for a while? It's too beautiful today to work so hard." "I can't stop to talk," said the ant. "I have to put away food for the winter." All the ants are working to put away food for the winter. If we stop and rest when the weather is good, we won't have food in the winter. Don't you think you should be doing the same? If you don't work, you won't have food for the winter either. "I don't worry about the winter," the grasshopper said. "I have plenty of food for now. That's all I care about. Come on, stay and talk." But the ant continued to work. A few months later, the winter came. The grasshopper was cold and hungry. At the same time, the ants had plenty to eat because they had worked hard in the summer collecting food for the winter. The grasshopper had learned his lesson too late. It is best to prepare for today for what you will need tomorrow.
Number 2. Hundreds of years ago, there lived an old man and his wife. One day, the wife was washing clothes down by the river, and she saw a peach floating by. She caught it and took it home, where she cut it open. To her surprise, she found a small boy inside the peach. Since the old couple had no children, they were very happy to raise this boy. Because he had been found in a peach, they named him Momotaro, which means Peach Boy. Momotaro grew up brave and strong. When he was 15 years old, he told his parents that he wanted to go to the ogre's island and take away their treasure. His mother gave him dumplings to eat on the way. As he traveled to the island, he met a monkey, a bird, and a dog. He gave each of them a dumpling, so they agreed to join him. When they arrived at the ogre's island, the monkey climbed over the walls of the castle. The bird flew over the castle walls. The dog went with Momotaro through the gates of the castle. They fought with the ogres and defeated them. After the defeat, the ogres brought their treasures and laid them at Momotaro's feet. They brought jewels, gold, silver, and rich clothing. Momotaro took the treasures back to his parents. They were able to live easily for the rest of their lives.
Number 3. The Great Barrier Reef is a coral reef off the east coast of Australia. It is the world's largest collection of coral, as well as the world's largest structure built by living things. It is 2,000 kilometers long, and it is larger than the entire area of Italy. It is about 500 feet thick, and it is more than 2 million years old. The Great Barrier Reef is an area of great diversity. It has 400 types of coral. It also provides a home for 1,500 types of fish and many other types of sea animals and plants. The islands in the area of the reef also have hundreds of types of birds. The Great Barrier Reef is designated as a World Heritage Area. It is protected as a national park, and compared to other reefs around the world, it is in good condition and fairly well protected. Many people visit the reef and see the coral and sea plants and animals. They see them through boats with glass bottoms or by snorkeling or scuba diving. The coral and the plants and animals are amazingly beautiful, with their many shapes and bright colors. People who visit the reef and see its beautiful colors and wide variety of animals never forget the experience.
Number 4. The London Underground is a famous underground rail system, one of the oldest in the world. It is a very easy, inexpensive, and efficient way to get around in London. There are subway stops near most of the places in London that you would want to go to. If you want to go somewhere in London, you should get a subway map. You can get a small subway map at subway stations. Find the station where you are and the one where you want to go on the map. Look at the lines between them. Sometimes you can go directly where you want to go without changing trains. Sometimes you might have to change trains. You should plan a route that involves as few changes as possible. When you need to change trains, it is easy to follow the signs to the next train line. If you do have any problems, just ask directions. People are usually willing to be helpful. If you are going to be taking the subway several times in one day, it is cheaper to buy a day pass than to buy individual tickets. You can buy the day pass at any subway station.
Number 5. Hirotada Ototake was born with a disability. He did not have the lower halves of his arms or legs. However, in spite of this disability, he has been able to lead a full life. When Otto was born, his parents were at first very sad. However, they decided that they would give him a normal life. Most children with such disabilities in Japan would go to a special school for disabled children. However, Otto's parents sent him to a regular school. At the school, the other children were nervous, surprised, and curious. However, they worked together to help Otto participate in the life of the school. He even played basketball and soccer. In high school, he studied for college entrance exams. He wrote by holding a pen between his cheek and his left arm. He was admitted to Waseda University. At the university, he again participated fully in student life. He also traveled around the country. He spoke to many people about the need to allow people with disabilities to participate in society. Otto has written his autobiography. In English, the title is No One's Perfect. It has sold more than 4.5 million copies in Japan. It is the story of how he has overcome his disabilities. It encourages everyone who reads it to try to overcome the barriers in their lives. It has even begun to help change the attitudes of Japanese people toward disabilities and the disabled.